and the white, honour the name by day and by night. Lift that noble banner high, shake down the thunder from the sky. Whether the odds be great or small, Blues will go in and win over all, while her loyal sons are marching onwards to victory. Cheer, cheer the blue and the white, honour the name by day and by night. Lift that noble banner high, shake down the thunder from the sky. Whether the odds be great or small, Blues will go in and win over all, while her loyal sons are marching onwards to victory.
The 19 grand final for 1986 between South Launceston and Launceston is about to get underway under perfect conditions. Umpires Foley and Lee Archer in charge of the big game. Umpire Foley with the ball in centre field. The Blues versus the Bulldogs. And we're away in the 1986 grand final. First tap down of the Blues. They go into their forward line. They're kicking to the cycle track end of the ground as they go forward towards the half forward line. But it's good defence led here as they bring it out the Bulldogs towards their half forward line. And a good mark has been taken for them here, this time by Andrew Jackson. Now Jackson's right on the true centre wing. He'll go inboard now as he puts a beautiful drop punt in towards the half forward line. It's tapped down by the Blues. Out of the pack, beautifully taken away now and goes forward through Manson. Kicks deep into the goal line, almost the first score, almost a mark being taken. It's been snapped off the top of the pack and it's been put through for the first big one. Aaron Carr, the South Launceston player up there in the forward line, has put the first major on the board, and in the first 30 seconds, South Launceston one straight goal and Launceston yet to score. It's just a very slight breeze that's favouring the end at the South Launceston side of kicking, but it's Really nothing to affect this game as the ball's back in motion once again and is put forward by Ellis. Beautifully cleared out by the south defence. It's back towards half forward. Players jostling there, taken off the block by Massey. Goes forward, the beautiful right kick down towards Carr once again. Recovering, it's cleared out there by the Launceston player in Tony Clark towards half back. Player doing battle out there is Matthews. Taken away by the Bulldogs and kicked in towards the forward lines off the top of the pack, and I think it'll bounce through for or behind. So it's South 1-1. Launceston yet to score. So a good opening by the Bulldogs here. They've had all the play in their forward line thus far as it's kicked back in towards half back. The top of the pack now and handball nicely out by Rosier on the half forward line now. It's good play and a nice slick handball out to the player running past there in Jackson, and Jackson's put it onto the right boot, but he's been dealt with when he delivered the ball. Umpire Lee Archer speaking to the player there in Sean Rush, and Lee Archer I think will reward a free kick. Now will he relay it downfield? I feel the ball did go through for a behind, so it should be brought back to the player that was dealt with, and I think he'll have the opportunity to have another shot for goal. Andrew Jackson, he's about 40 metres out. Will be assisted by this slight breeze. He's on the railway side or the scoreboard pocket, and he's about to shoot for goal. Andrew Jackson with the socks down, moves in. I think it'll go offline from here. It's got the distance okay and it's through for a behind. 1-2 South. Launceston yet to score. We've been playing 3 minutes in this, the opening term of the 86 grand final. So it's put back into play by the fullback Tony Clark of Launceston. He's kicked wide and a lovely mark's been taken out there on the half back line. Good long penetrating kick by Clark, and it's been taken on this occasion out there by Paul Gibson. Gibson kicks wide. It's gone to the outer wing on the far side of the ground. But once again the south defence kicks the ball towards half forward. Massey's in there and it's tapped away and it's back to that player in Gibson. Clears beautifully for the Blues on the second occasion. This time it's a better pass, looks for and finds his teammate in Richard Ellis. Ellis onto the right boot, swings wide and goes towards the full forward line. A good lead down there, but it's been tapped away by the Demons Crooks. And he's gone wide towards the outer flank and he's kicked it wide and he's let his teammates out there do the good work. And the Bulldogs once again ran that ball beautifully out of defence. They've gone wide to the outer wing into the race for the ball. It's Betsarin. And I think it's beaten all plays. It's out of bounds on the far side of the ground. So 4 1/4 minutes into the first term. South Launceston 1-2-8, leading Launceston yet to score as it's taken out of the pack on this occasion. And click forward by the Bulldogs towards centre field. Big pack flies. Comes to Curran. He's brushed aside. Launceston player running the ball beautifully out of there was Termine. He's kicked it wide only to find the South Launceston player in Bick. He's under heaps of pressure and is stolen away by Branston. And I think the boundary line will be the winner. No, in fact, there's a free kick awarded by umpire Foley. And it's Sean Branston. They call him the Mouse. He's 55 metres from goal, too far to score as he kicks towards the forward pocket. And look off the top of the players, the south defence should clear it once again. Here's a handball wildly out of the pack. Another handball on now, looking for a Rosier down there. But it's been pushed aside. Good desperate play by the Blues forward line there to keep that ball in their forward zone. It's 45 metres around from their goal point post. And there's the toss in. Over the back. And just Massey's been held, but he hasn't got possession of the ball, and he'll relieve right in the last line for the Bulldogs. Sam Massey kicks towards half forward. Cooch is there, but it's over the back of the pack, and it's almost stolen away by Termine. Now it's kicked forward there by the player in Oldenoff. It's kicked towards half forward. I think the player there has taken the mark, could be Tuttle. He's 40 metres out. Grant Tuttle, he's 40 metres out with a big opportunity to put the first score on the board for the Blues. It's the Tuttle kick now. He's allowed for the breeze somewhat, but the ball's kept straight. I think it's gone through for a behind. And that's the first score on the board for Launceston. They're one behind. They're trailing South 1-2. 6 1/4 minutes into the first term. Well, the breeze has changed slightly now. It's blowing straight towards the camera from the far side of the ground, and it's almost a little bit of northerly in it now as the ball's kicked back in by the fullback for South Launceston, and a good strong mark's taken on the 50-metre line, far side of the ground to the South Launceston side. There's the kick in towards the centre of the ground, and that big pack flies once again, and a good mark has been taken by Michael Manson, and he's right at the centre half back. There's his kick now, it's towards the half forward line. And there's plenty of packs flying when they go for the mark, 6 and 8 players at a time as the ball comes to the ground once again, and playing well there again is Gibson for Launceston. He's doing strong work in the back line. Free kick's been awarded, and it will go to the player in Malcolm Matthews. Matthews right at centre half back for the Blues, goes in towards the centre of the ground looking for Tuttle, and Tuttle takes a nice chest mark. He's right in the middle. There's his kick. He's going wide this time, looking for a forward player out there. Players doing battle. The South defence tapping the ball forward, and it's gone straight back to Tuttle. He's clever enough to tap it sideways. Now he's in trouble. Playing well for the Bulldogs was Wormsley on that occasion. Almost kicked out there this time by Cocker. Back to Tuttle. Looking for his teammate out there and has found him, but he's under heaps of pressure. Very negative passage of play here as both sides desperately try to get the ball moving. Oh, a fickle bounce there has gone sideways, but allowed the Blues back in once again. A big scramble in defence, and finally the Bulldogs get a hurried kick out of their defensive line, only to find the Launceston player in Simon Munro. Munro onto the right boot and kicks towards the half forward line, but it's been marked by Rick Newman in the last line for the Bulldogs. There's Newman. His second big grab down there as he kicks wide and finds his captain in Scotty Curran. He's on the back flank, runs through centre wing and goes to the left boot towards the half forward line looking for Rosier, but it's tapped away from that player by Scott Lee, and it's out of bounds right on centre wing, far side of the ground. There's the throw in. Taken away this time in the half back line there by Matthews towards half forward, but it's this defence of South across half back doing well in the opening minutes of the game. Onto the Launceston player in Lee. Now it's kicked out of the pack by Munro, only to find Curran of South. Curran breaks across half back, goes onto his wrong foot being at the right boot, but it's good enough to find his teammate out there, and he's found that player too in Andrew Jackson. He breaks clear onto his left boot now and goes towards half forward, but all the Bulldogs are behind and allows the Launceston player to come through in Craig Waldron, and he's been dealt with when he delivered the ball, and there'll be a relay kick downfield, and I think it'll be Grant Tuttle to take the kick. He's almost in the centre of the ground. There's the Tuttle kick. Right towards half foot, all up a mile. There was a play that's beautifully sharked off the pack by Branston. It's right in the goal line for the Blues, trying desperately to get their first one. Branston grabs it again. He kicks with the left boot out of the pack, and I think he's put it through. The little rover down there, Shane the Mouse Branston, has put the first one on the board for Launceston. They're 1-1-7, South are 1-2-8. 10 minutes almost elapsed in the opening term. In fact, it's turned almost completely around. It's favouring the end that Launceston are kicking now as they go back into motion once again. They go forward towards the half forward line. Trapped out of the pack here by Serene. Here's the Mouse once again. He's doing good work in the forward line. Cooch is there for the South Launceston defence. He's kicked towards half forward, and a good mark has been taken by the player here in Jackson, who's been dominant in the opening term for the Bulldogs. He's on towards half forward. Nice spin out of the pack there by the player running past in Manson. He gives it out to his teammate who's had a shot for goal, and he's been dealt with. When he delivered the ball, the player was Philip Lee, and I think a relayed free kick on about the third occasion in the opening minutes will be awarded downfield, and it'll be right in the goal line. No, in fact, well, what is umpire Foley going to do? I think he will give the free kick right down on the goal line. In fact, he will. And the big South Launceston forward will punt for goal from just 5 metres out. Resulting from that relayed kick. Just can't quite pick up the player as he kicks for goal. And I think it was Jason Parker, and he's put it right through. That's the second one for the Bulldogs. They're 2-2-14, and they lead Launceston 1-1-7, 11 and a half minutes opening term. So we're back in motion once again. Termine against that player for holding the ball. It's come wide towards Jackson. A la Pele style, sockers the ball off the ground, then takes butters up himself. Gets the handball, but it's to nobody. Which allows Bramston in. All the time in the world, the umpire says too long. Free kick, holding the ball. And we'll go to the South Launceston player, Jonathan Bye. There's the Bye kick. Not very long. Mouse takes it off the pack once again. Down to Cocker. Good play, Cocker onto the right boot, looking for Massey, and he's found that player 25 metres out, almost directly in front. We'll get a good view of this because he's right in line with the camera. Sam Massey. There's Massey. He'll use the left foot, certainly taking plenty of time. Very deliberate over the shot. He's going to kick with the right. Well, he should have used the left because it's gone off the side of the boot and it's just snuck through for a behind. 2 goals, 3-15 South. Bad miss that time by Massey. 1-1-7 Launceston. 13.5 minutes opening term, the 86 under-19 grand final. Ball's back in play. Good play by the big player there in Munro. Puts onto the right boot. It's got plenty of height. All Launceston players running into one another, but it allows Craig Termine in. Termine onto the right boot, looking for his teammate down there. Finds him. The player there in Sereni, who handballs out to Harris, and Harris shoots from 35 metres out, and he's put it through for the Blues. There's the answering goal. Launceston 2-1-13. There's just 2 points in the game with South 2-3-15. 13, almost 14 minutes elapsed in the opening term. So 2 points in the ball game. Tuttle does his own ruck, roving to his own ruck work, puts onto the left boot from 70 metres out. Look, it's got a big right turn and it could bounce through. Wait for the umpire. Yes, that's a goal. What a great goal by Tuttle. Did the work himself from the tap ruck. Kicked it from 75 metres out. It bounced 20 metres out. Did a big off break and bounced through for another goal to the Launceston side. 3 goals, 1-19. They've hit the front for the first time in the game. South 2-3-15. Tuttle gets the tap once again. Rosier looking for Jackson. Jackson's on centre wing. Handball's over the top to Bye. He's on the right boot and in towards the forward line. Off the top of the pack is taken beautifully here by Manson. Puts it onto the right boot and I think he's answered it in 15 seconds. He has. Great play, Manson. The Bulldogs reply. They're 3-3-21. And they're back in front now, and a great opening to the 86 grand final with Launceston 3-1-19. And while that play was in progress, there was a bit of a scuffle here on the half-forward line, but the umpires have broken that up. The boys are a little bit excited. In the meantime, the Bulldogs kicked another goal, and they're back in front. Tuttle. Tap down to Sereni. On towards Branston. He's clever enough to get a little left foot chip in. Finds his teammate running past there, this time in Davies. He's on the right boot looking for a player in centre field. And a beautifully weighted pass, and he's found the player there in Sean Rush. Rush, right on the 50-metre line. Could give this a big shake as he moves in. Right on the 50-metre he kicks it, but it's not a very good-looking kick. It's into the forward line, almost marked there for the South defence by Donald. Rosier takes the ball and clears with the left boot wide towards outer wing. In the race for the ball out there is Matthews. Stolen away by the player out there for the Bulldogs in the last line and kicks wide towards the outer flank. Oh, and a tremendous mark being taken by Wayne Cooch. Well, Cooch, he played a couple of senior games mid-season and he showed his experience there as he kicks with his left foot wide towards the outer wing. It's off the top of the pack. Player out there playing well is Paul Gibson in the back line for the Blues. He punched that towards the boundary and it's out of bounds. Centre wing, far side. The back of the pack. Falls to ground the Launceston player in Ellis. Umpire Foley says we'll bounce it up, fellas. It's been fairly open, the game so far in the first 17 minutes. Been very few bounce downs. There's one right now and it's on the far side of the ground. It's thumped forward by the Bulldogs towards that player in Gibson. Taken away by Massey. Massey into the back of his opponent there, and a free kick midway between the wing and the half-back line. And it's taken away by Launceston's Malcolm Matthews. There's his kick wide. South Launceston rather playing well across the half-back line. Michael Wormsley this time kicks towards the outer wing. Taken away by the player there in Digney. Handballs quickly onto the teammate in Rosier onto his right boot. It's cleared away by the Blues though across their half-back line. It's back in towards centre field once again. Umpire Lee Archer on this occasion will bounce it. So just a real battle between the back lines here at the moment as they battle that ball between the half-back lines of the two respective sides. Back in motion once again, taken away this time by Munro. Curran's there for the Bulldogs onto his right hand, punches wide looking for a teammate. There's not much support out there. Finally finds a teammate there in Philip Lee. He's good enough to get on the left boot and look for Cooch. He's found that player at half forward onto his left boot smartly towards the forward line, but a good mark's been taken for the Blues in the last line. Good strong mark taken by Matthew Jones on this occasion. There's his kick. Thrown out of the pack. Finds Craig Termine. Looking for his teammate down there, but it's been intercepted by the half-back line of the Bulldogs. Beautiful play there as he puts it towards half forward towards Bye. Boundary line could beat this player. In fact, it does. So it's out of bounds, almost in front of us, the commentary position. It's between centre wing and the half forward line. Just slightly in the attacking zone of the Bulldog side as it's back to Bye onto his left boot. This will bring rain. Oh, the good mark's almost been taken. Play on the umpire. Out to the Launceston player there in Woodbury. Rosier intercepts onto the left boot, looking for his teammate out there, and he's found the big lumbering player there in Jason Parker. Parker, 40 metres. Make that 45, almost directly in front. There's the big player's kick. It was a nice looking kick. It's almost got the distance. It's off the top of the pack and through for a behind. They're 3-4. South Launceston. Launceston are 3-1. The kick wide. Covered all of 50 metres. Stolen off the pack for the Blues. Davies onto his left boot towards centre field. Nice tap on by Termine. Beautiful handball out of the pack to the player running past in Rush. Onto the left boot, Rush. Oh, it's a poor looking delivery into the forward line. This allows the defence of South through Scotty. Curran shows heaps of pace onto his left boot. There's nobody to give it to. Bye's the only player there, but it's thumped away from that player and finally finds the Launceston player in Woodbury. Woodbury clears with a wobbly old kick, but luckily finds a teammate on half forward in Ellis, and he's clever enough to butter up and put onto the right boot and kick towards the outer flank. And the umpire again have played a penalty downfield. That's about the 4th or 5th occasion in this opening term that penalty has been applied, and it'll go to the Launceston player out there in Matthew Harris. There's Harris. Good long kick. Punched away by the Bulldogs. Goes to ground. Rosier playing well. Good handball out of the pack. Finds his teammate running by in Donald. It's towards half forward. Termine scoops it off the ground. Gibson. It's on the bottom of the pack. He's under heaps of pressure. Grant. Handballs to nobody. Back to Termine. Finds the Launceston player in Harris. Kicked it to nowhere. And Massey. Good strong mark on half back for the Bulldogs. There's Massey. He's right on half back. Rewarded a 15-metre penalty. This time he uses the left boot. And he's gone wide. Oh, a tremendous mark being taken over the back of the pack by Troy Roberts. He's also been awarded 15 metre, but he's quick to take advantage and play on, looking out wide for the player running by. He's almost marked it out there in Carr. It's off the pack and cleared away by the last line for the blue side there in Malcolm Matthews. He's gone wide only to find Harris. Harris onto the right boot wide. There's nobody there. It's all the Bulldogs. Andrew Donald goes wide, outer wing. Race for the ball is Bick. I think it's beaten all players. It's out of bounds. 22.5 minutes into the opening term. South of 3-4-22, Launceston 3-1-19. 3 points only in the grand final. It's thrown in. Massey. Wide. Oh, fickle bounce there for the player for Launceston in Oldenoff. Clearing beautifully from the last line though was Lee. He's kicked wide, but I think a good mark's been taken to the Bulldog player in Scotty Curran, the skipper. He's right on the half-back line. Oh, he's handballed to nobody. Terrible play there by Curran. Taken away by the Blues player there and kicked with the left boot towards the half-forward line, but it's bounced towards the centre of the ground. Running the ball forward for the Bulldogs was Walmsley, but it's been stolen away and kicked into the half-forward line. Bounced over the back, only to find the player in Bick. Bick has kicked wide, and out there all by himself is Lee. He's got heaps of time to pick it up, twist and turn and dodge the opponent. There's the big kick now towards half forward. Massey's over the back, but I think a good mark's been taken in front of the pack by Malcolm Matthews. There's Matthews. Towards the half forward line, all players up. I think a mark's been taken there. The advantage has been played and allowed to go there by Walmsley as he kicks towards half forward. Off the top of by, he's always kicked it off the ground and the umpire's allowed it to play on. It missed the big player in Parker. Launceston and the Bulldogs, but there's a handball out of that pack and a snap here from 25 metres out by Jason Parker. That's the second goal in the opening term. South's fourth there, 4-4-28, leading Launceston 3-1-19. 24 minutes into the opening term. 24.5 minutes into the opening term. Ball's back in play once again. Cooch has grabbed the ball. I think he's been rewarded a free kick for a too high tackle. He's quick to play onto his left boot. Down the half forward line. Massey's there. The siren sounds for quarter time with the South Launceston side 4-4-28. They're 9-point leaders over Launceston 3-1-19. Well, there's 9 points only in the game, the 86 grand final, NTFA under 19's, South versus Launceston in the second quarter. It's about to get underway. Umpire Lee Archer put ball to turf. South with just a slight advantage of the wind. It has sprung around since the opening term and it's been thumped forward by Roberts. Towards the player in Gibson. Under the left boot, only to find Jackson. Been dominating in the opening term as he kicks wide to his teammate running past out there and has found the player in Lee. He's onto the right boot, but it's long and it's wide. It's handsome and it's out of bounds. And there'll be a free kick to the Blues in the last line. Tony Clark puts the ball back into play. Massey, almost been paid. He has been paid. Well, it took the umpire a long time to make up his mind that it was a fair purchase on the ball. Sam Massey, who played the first part of the season with the City South senior side before the amalgamation, showing his experience here in the grand final. And he's right on the 50-metre line, struggle for distance, doesn't mind what boot he kicks with, the little fella. This time he uses the right. He's gone for a big, long, tall Pete Arness right to the point of the square and almost a good mark at the top of the pack. Could have been kicked off the ground, but in fact it's a behind. Gee, I thought the South player there may have got his boot to it. And it could have been awarded a goal, but it was a judge to be touched, and the umpire says it's one behind, so it's 4-5 South. They're 29, and Launceston are 3-1-19. It's 10 points the difference. Tapped down by Matthews. Play on's the call. It's been run out of bounds, right on the half forward line for the Bulldogs. Railway side of the ground. It's thumped down. Matthews once again. Only to find Walmsley. Looking for a teammate. A good tackle's been applied there, and I think it's dropping the ball. A very strong tackle by the Bulldogs, Andrew Hayward. He's right on the half-forward line. Now he kicks in towards the true centre half-forward position off the top of the pack. Cooch is there, beautifully picked up. Handball's wide towards by. Cooch has to do the work himself once again, and I think eventually the umpire will bounce it. It's right at centre half forward, South Launceston's attacking zone. Umpire Kevin Foley bounces down. Thumped forward by the Launceston players, Matthews. Towards half forward, almost a good mark taken by Bick. Play on. It's chipped out of defence and kicked wide towards the player there in Harris. Harris has been a good player in the opening quarter. Now he's on his right boot and he's gone towards centre field looking for a teammate, and he'll find him because there's nobody within Cooey. There's the little player out there in Bramston. There's the Bramston's kick. He's gone wide looking for his teammate down there, and once again pretty poor defence here at the moment by the South Launceston Fire, because Scott Davies is clear this time. He's kicked in towards the forward line. This time the South defence looks much better. It's taken away by Crooks. He's socketed off the ground. It's back towards the player there in Davies. But it's over the line and it's out of bounds, and there'll be a throw in midway between centre wing and half forward for the Blues. Tap down. Davies handballs widely to Branston. He's heading towards goal now. Oh, beautiful smother there by the South Donald. Well, the umpire has found a free kick, and it'll go to the little fella, the mouse, Shane Branston. He's right in the forward pocket. Could struggle a little bit for distance, I think, because he's about 40 metres out and he's on a very acute angle. There's his kick. It was touched off the boot, in fact. It's right to the goal mouth, but it's off the top of the pack. It's through for a behind. It's 3-2 to the Blues. They're 20, South of 4-5-29. Well, the sun's just trying to peep through, and it's quite pleasant when it does, as he kicks wide this time, and Branston chips in front of Roberts and takes the mark. He's 45 metres from goal. There's his little chip pass over the top. Oh, poor defence here by the Bulldogs. They've allowed this player to go right down into the forward line, and he marks unattended. Malcolm Matthews, I think, the player. No, in fact, it's Tim Oldenoff, and he's put a beautiful little weighted pass. He looked for his forward, took his time, was cool and calculated, found his player there in Craig Davies. Made space, just half a metre was all he needed. And now Davies from 20 metres on a degree of about 10. Oh, it's pretty close. I think it'll just sneak through. We've got a pretty good view of this. It's through for a goal for the Blues there. 4 goals, 2-26. There's just 3 points in the game. South 4-5-29, 5 minutes into the second term. So the last couple of moves into their forward line by the Blues showed a little bit of lack of discipline by the Bulldogs in that back line. They allowed Launceston players to run loose, resulted in 2 scoring shots, and now there's just 3 points as the ball's back in and tapped down by Roberts. On this time to the South Launceston player running past there in Haywood. He goes into the forward line. Launceston player in the last line doing well is Waldron. He's gone wide, eludes by. Desperate play there by that Launceston player, and once again as Paul Gibson. He's turned back many attacks by the Bulldogs as Gibson goes towards the centre of the ground. Cooch is in front, almost a mark. Play on. Launceston through Davies. Kicks wide. It's right in front of us. It'll beat all players. It's out of bounds. Right on the true centre wing. 6.5 minutes into the second term. Launceston players calling for it over the back, but it's been tapped towards the forward line. Here's Bye. I think he's kicked it out of bounds on the full. Nowhere to go. All he could do was give boot to the ball, and unfortunately for him it carried enough to carry the boundary line. And the Launceston defence will once again relieve. There it is back towards half forward. Massey picks it up onto the left boot. It's towards half forward. Oh, good mark been taken down there for Launceston. Beautiful strong mark taken by Brett Serenen. Oh, he's kicking to the man on the mark. That's bad play, but he's good enough to butter up, get a handball out to a teammate. He's put under heaps of pressure. The player was Gibson, handballed onto his teammate in Waldron. Waldron onto the left boot and finds Ellis. Ellis over the top looking for his teammate in Woodbury. Woodbury goes with the right boot now towards half forward. He's towards Tuttle, and they just stood and watched as Tuttle took a nice easy chest mark. Sees a player running past there, this time in Harris. Harris onto the left boot towards the goal line. It's bounced over 3 players. Unfortunately, it went the wrong way and it went through for a behind. They're 4-3 now, the Blues. That's 27. They're trailing South 4-5-29. Good passage to play by Launceston. They ran that ball from half back and there wasn't one South Launceston player touched it. Here's a beautifully weighted pass. Kick in from full back. It's found Cooch. He's right at centre half back. Now he kicks with his left boot out wide looking for the player in Jackson. He tries to tap it over the top. Jackson once again, he's got the ball on a string as he kicks. Finds his teammate running past, and there's a good pass to Manson. Manson from 40 metres out has put it on the right boot and has put it through for another one for the Bulldogs. They're 5-5-35, leading Launceston 4-3-27. 8 points the difference, 8.5 minutes into the second term. It's taken away by the Launceston player, this time in Oldenough. Teammate running by, kicks it nicely into the forward line. Nicely taken by Serini. Towards Massey's on the bottom of the pack, taken out of the pack by Harris. Oh, a good mark's been taken in front of the pack. Beautiful mark there, he's under heaps of pressure. Players everywhere. Picks himself up, rubs his head to Scott Davies, sorry. And Scott Davies, 30 metres out, he's directly in front. Could this be the answering goal for the Launceston side? It's been goal for goal. As Davies kicks, oh, it's a terrible looking kick off the boot. Won't even make the distance, it's off the top of the pack down. It's been forced through for a behind, so they're 4-4 Launceston, 28. South Launceston to 5-5-35. There's the kick back in again. It's over the back of the pack. Massey having trouble finding the ball. Now he's got it. Now he breaks through. He's been spoken to by his teammates. They said have a bounce, and he did just that. Swings onto the right boot. He's taken it from half back to half forward, and he's put a beautiful little pass into his big tall player down there, and I think it's Parker. No, in fact it's Manson, Michael Manson, who's kicked 2 goals in the grand final. Lines up for a big opportunity to put his third through. He's 35 metres out. He's directly in front. There's the Manson kick. Think it's swinging back, but not enough. It's through for a behind. 5 goals, 6-36. South Launceston. Launceston 4-4-28. It's 10.5 minutes into the second term in the 86 grand final. There's the kick in. Oh, the South player appeared to be tripped, but the umpire foul. He said it was fair play, and in fact you're holding the ball, and we'll give a free kick to the Launceston players. Tim Oldenough. There's Oldenough. He's in towards the centre of the ground. Good strong play by the South Newman. Handball's on and finds a teammate in Lee. Lee's out wide. Oh, good defence here by the Blues Jones. Here's Gibson again. Ball they call. Umpire Foley agrees. And a free kick's been awarded to the South Launceston's Michael Wormsley. So Warmer, there's his kick. A good long kick to into the forward line. Almost the mark taken there, but it's play on onto the ground. Umpire's found a free kick. And it'll go to the South Launceston player in Andrew Hayward. Well, I couldn't see from here what it was for. Both players seemed desperately to attack the ball. And umpire Foley in true style has plucked the free kick out for Nobby Hayward as he kicks from 20 metres out, and I think he's put it through for the Bulldogs. That's his first goal, Nobby Hayward. South 6 there, 6 goals, 6-42, and they lead by 14 points over Launceston, 4-4-28. For the second term, and a square infringement. Boundary umpire as a judge that there was one too many Blues in that square, and so the free kick will be taken by Jason Parker of the South Launceston side. He's gone wide, and he's found his teammate out there, the one that kicked the last goal in Hayward. He's quick to play on this time, looking for Massey, and he's found that player. Massey's 40 metres out. I was about to say it'll favour his left boot, but he might kick it with his right. Doesn't make much difference to this fella. Last shot for goal was with the right boot, so Massey on only a slight degrees of about 10 or 15. Should see plenty of the opening from there with the breeze right behind him. Kicks with the right boot. I think he could be offline. The umpire moves across and it's through from behind. 6 goals, 7-43. South Launceston, Launceston 4-4-28. kick in. It's pretty wide. It's off the top of the pack. Scrambly passage here, and umpire Lee Archer will bounce it down right on the 50-metre line. It was a good clearing kick. There's the bounce. Tuttle, big thump. So nobody in particular. It's a race for the pace, and it's Cooch. Handballs only to find Ellis of Launceston. Taken away by the little player in Haywood. They did everything in the last minute or two. Cleared once again by Gibson. Taken away here by the good play by Ellis. It's kicked towards half forward. Curran in the race. Handball's inboard, keeps the ball in play. Launceston player's been grabbed, but the umpire says we'll throw it in, it's out of bounds. It's 55 metres around from the Launceston goal line. There's a tap down taken away by Harris. It's towards the full forward line. South Launceston desperately trying to get this ball back out from the attacking zone of the Launceston players, and the umpire has found a free, and it's been awarded to the South Launceston player back there in Dean Crooks. There's the Crooks kick. Looking for Massive, it's off the top of Tuttle. Finds Matthews. Matthews has been touched off the boot to Oldenoff. Oldenoff on all fours. Handballs to nobody in particular, taken away by Newman. Back to Davies. Davies handballs inboard, looking for his teammate in Matthews. Matthews onto the right boot from 40 out and kicks towards the goal line. It'll clear the pack. Go through for a behind there, 4-5-29 Launceston. They're trailing South 6-7-43. We've been playing 15.5 minutes into the second term. It's taken away this time by Launceston's Matthew Harrison. Pass to Harris, sorry, from Serene. And Harris is marked 50 metres out. A little bit too far to score. Been a good player, Harris. There's his kick. Oh, big pack flies. It's over the top. It's almost taken away by Davies. Tries to socket it off the ground. I think it's been rushed through and hit the behind post. And we'll go through for another behind to Launceston, 4-6-30. Just edging closer by behinds at the moment. South Launceston still lead by 13. As the ball's back in play once again. It's on the railway side in front of the scoreboard. It's gone towards their skipper and Curran. Taken away by Parker. Oldenoff onto his right boot. Players spoil one another. Socket off the ground by Davies. It's through for another behind. 4 goals, 7-31. Well, they're needing goals before half time. Launceston, it's 12 points in the game. 6 goals, 7-43. There's the ball back in play once again. Nice mark being taken by Ellis. He's only one of the smaller players over there, Richard Ellis. Now he's in towards the goal square. Almost a mark there in the last line for the Bulldogs. Play on the umpire. Bramson's there doing battle. I think it's been pushed off the ground and forced through for another one. And that was Dean Crooks, who went safety first for the behind post, and he's found it. Launceston move on yet by another behind. 4 goals, 8-32. There's the kick back in. Tuttle. Good mark. Now he quick to go on with his left boot, looking for Harris. Harris will lose that player, side steps around, he puts onto the right boot, and it's beautifully smothered by the Bulldogs defence. Great play, the player down there in Robert Cocker. And it's through for another behind there, 4 goals, 9-33. Launceston, there's the kick back in now, and it's been taken by Oldenoff. He's playing well, the big fella in this term. There's Oldenoff's kick, he's gone wide in towards half forward. It's been trapped there by the player in Grant, having trouble picking the ball up, taken away by Bye spins with a beautiful blind turn onto the left boot and goes towards Manson. It's over the top of that player, down to the little player in Haywood running by. He'll lose a player, puts onto the right boot and goes for a pass in the forward line, but it's too long for his teammate down there, and it's been taken away by the defensive Tony Clark of the Blues. He's gone wide towards the half back line, and that's out of bounds, far side of the ground, half forward flank for the Bulldogs. Well, Launceston had that ball in their forward line for 5 minutes. They had 5 shots and they were all behinds, and now it's going to the Bulldogs forward zone as it's tapped down. Launceston player put it the wrong way. Almost allowed his opponent in. Another scrambly passage of play over there, and umpire Foley, the Archer it is. Foley standing in the centre of the ground, so umpire Archer. A couple of players having a little bit of a slap at one another over there, but I think he'll bounce it down and get on with the game. 19 minutes into the second term. Back in play, taken away by Launceston player in Jones. Towards the half-forward line, too long for Cooch. In there is Berry. Handball wildly out of the pack to Gooch. Gooch over the top, looking for Hayward. Launceston player being held when he hasn't got the ball, and he's been given a free kick. Malcolm Matthews. I think the umpire will make it come back. The Blues were keen to see the advantage rule paid, but it wasn't to be. There's another bit of a slap up there on the far side of the ground. Of players are in it, left, right and centre. Well, there's 3 or 4 South fellas giving Tuttle a hard time. The umpire in the meantime has called play on with the ball, and the game goes on. It's through centre field, it's wide. Looking for the player out there in Serenen. He's doing battle against 3 Bulldogs players, and the Bulldogs defence for Rick Newman. Meantime, they're still pushing and shoving on the back line, but the umpire has found a free kick, and it'll go to the Launceston player on the far side of the ground. There's his kick in towards half forward, holding off. Oh, great mark. Almost had it with the fingertips first up, and over the back of the pack. He was good enough to stretch and take the second and the third grabs, and the umpire Foley said, that's enough for me. And holding off from 35 to 40 metres out on a degree of about 10, Tim Oldenoff. Oh, it's a beautiful looking kick, and I tell you what, it's as straight as a die. And Launceston come out with a goal through that entangle there, 5 goals, 9.39. There's just 4 points in it, south of 6.7.43. So the players that were waltzing on the back line have all settled down, and the ball's back in play, and there's 36 players playing the game once again as it goes towards the half-forward line of the Blues, and a free kick to Davies. Vandish, Brule, Pate and Harris, Booner and everything, kicks towards the half-forward line. Taken away by Bramston, twists and turns onto the right boot, looks for a forward and chips over the top towards Davies, and I think he'll mark. Well, it just covered 10 metres, that, let me tell you. Craig Davies already kicked a goal in the second term. It was a big opportunity, and now he's been awarded a 15-metre penalty, and he'll have no trouble whatsoever distance-wise, and really there's a big opening. Gives himself a bit more space. Now he pops it over the top, and they've hit the front, Launceston. There's 6 goals, 9.35, 2-point leaders over South, 6.7.43. So that bit of a fight on the back line. It's been all Launceston. They've put 2 goals on the board in the last 90 seconds as Oldenoff gets the tap down, and they go into motion once again. Bye of South. Too high. Jonathan Bye, he's almost in the centre of the ground. He's just slightly on the far side as he kicks now. Towards half-forwards up the top of the pack. Taken away here, the little player in Hayward puts it onto the right boot, and he snaps from 5 metres out. And he's kicked his second for the quarter, Nobby Hayward. And South are back in front. 7 goals, 7.49. 6 goals, 9.45 Launceston. Seconds before half-time, umpire Foley puts it back into play. Taken away by Tuttle. 23 minutes into the second term. Ball's a negative position in centre field, but the umpire's found a free kick. And it'll go to the Launceston player out there. Right in the middle of the ground, and it is Sean Rush. He's kicked towards half forward. It's taken away by South Bick. Goes wide, looking for Roberts. Finds the player out there, far side of the ground. Roberts looking for Bye. Finds that player. Good open play by the Bulldogs. As it goes in towards the skipper and Curran. Curran marks. Kick long's the call. They know time's running out in the second term. He's a bit slow, Curran. Now he's onto the left boot, and it's a good long torpedo towards half forward. Massey traps it nicely onto his right boot, kicks from 25 metres out, but I think he's across the face of goal. He's out of bounds right alongside of the behind post. Well, the Bulldogs ran that ball from half back right into their forward line, and there's a throw in 5 metres out. Seconds remaining before half time as Tuttle thumps the ball through, and he's gone for the safety of the goals, and he's put it through for behind. So South stretch their lead to 5 points. There's 7 goals, 8 and they're 50. Launceston are 6 goals, 9:45. 24.5 minutes into the second term. And there's the siren for half time, so South will go in with a 5-point margin. 7 goals, 8:50. Launceston are 6 goals, 9:45. Don't panic, Mother, you're right. So the third quarter's about to get underway. There's 5 points the difference. South led by 9 at a quarter time and 5 at half time. And Launceston have the aid of this bruise, although it's almost across ground. It is favouring the end that they'll be kicking to, the cycling track end. Munro. Roberts gets the tap down. It's taken away by the Bulldogs towards half forward. By. Handball's inboard, looking for his teammate in Jackson. Jackson onto the right boot from 20 metres out and has missed. Oh, big opportunity there to stretch their lead, but it's just offline. It's through for a behind. It's only a point more. 7 goals, 9:51. Good passage there in the opening 10 seconds of the third term by the Bulldogs. And it's back in play once again. Massey tears his way through the pack and onto the right boot. Looking for Hayward. Taps it on nicely. Oh, good play, the little fella, but it's beautifully smothered by the defence of the Blues. Taken away by Massey once again onto the left boot, into the forward pocket, looking for and finding Jason Parker. Parker, 35 metres out, he's right on the boundary line. He indicates he'll steady down and have a shot. And so he should. Jason Parker, who's already kicked 2 goals. There's his kick for a goal, and it's pretty good too, I think. The umpire's right under it. No, it's just a stray. All the players in the goal square look pretty happy. It's just offline, so they're 17:52, the Bulldogs, leading Launceston 6-9-45. Taken away by Harris.
Nice, Coachy.
So Cooch, he's on half-back. Kicks towards By. Good mark being taken by By. He's quick to play on and finds a player running past in Jackson. Jackson from 45 metres out. Almost a mark. Oh, he should have let it go, the player down there in the goal square, Parker. But it's off the hands and through for a behind. 7 goals, 11, 53. Launceston 6-9-45. Back in centre field once again, taken away by Cooch. He's playing well, side steps, the losers 2, play onto his powerful left boot and towards the half forward line. Big mark almost taken by Parker. Spins onto his left boot, it's gone off the side, it's in the air, could be under it as a South Launceston player, but play on the little fella in Bramston. Doing well for the Blues, handball quickly out to By onto the left boot from 20 metres, and I think he's put it through. Well, they peppered it away, did the Bulldogs. Finally they got one, 8 goals, 11, 59. Launceston 6-9-45. 3.5 minutes into the final term, into the third term, sorry. 14 points the difference as umpire Lee Archer puts the ball to turf. Tapped down by Munro. Finds his teammate in Serin towards Tuttle. 2 grabs Tuttle, marks and midway between centre and centre half forward. First time the Blues have been into attack in the third term. It's a long kick. It's over the back of the pack. It's a race of pace, and it's tapped by the South Launceston player, and I think he'll take a free kick down there. Dean Crooks. There's the kick now towards Roberts. Bounces beautifully for that player. He's onto his right boot towards the boundary line. He's good enough to get it back to Jackson. Jackson takes his time and he's tackled beautifully. Has to handball under heaps of pressure, and it's gone to Termine. Termine onto the right boot towards half forward. Over the pack, chipping in there for the Bulldogs. Taken away now by the defensive Cocker. Only to find Surin. He's onto his right boot, and from 50 metres out, punts, and it's almost cleared the pack. Oh, that was a good effort. It's off the top of the pack through. 6 goals, 10-46. Launceston 8-11-59 South. There's the kick. It's wide. Almost trapped by Termine. He's on the right boot now. He kicks from 40 metres out. Looks pretty good. Oh, did it all himself, Termine. Put it through for the Blues. 7 goals, 10-52. 7 points the difference. South are 8-11-59. Umpire Archer. Munro. Only to find Cooch. Handballs to Jackson. Jackson will go over the top looking for Bye. Bye back to Cooch. Beats 2 players onto his left boot, goes wide. Almost a good mark taken there by the Launceston player in Waldron. Play on down to Parker. Parker onto the right boot to the goal mouth. But a good mark being taken for the Blues back there, Tony Clark. Clark's in the last line. He's gone long. Kicked it well out of defence. Almost to the centre wing. Players trying to tap the ball forward. Taken away by Munro. Towards half forward over the top, looking for the player running past in Ellis. Ellis traps it, handballs over to a teammate in the goal square. He'll turn around, Craig Davies, and put it through. And they've hit the lead, the Blues. The 8-minute mark, the 6-minute mark, sorry. Hit the lead, they're 8 goals, 10-58. Didn't quite hit the lead. South still lead by 1 point. It was Craig Davies' third goal. Launceston are 8-10-58. South 8-11-59. And the ball's back in play once again. Blues go forward this time through Matthews. Towards half forward. I think the mark's been paid to Brett Sarin. Sarian, there's his kick. 60 metres out towards the goal mouth. Thumped down. Taken away by the defence of the Bulldogs this time through Carr. Snap for goal here, I think, by the player in Brett Sarin. Or was it Harris? No, I think it was Harris, but he's put it through anyway. Now they're in front, the Blues. Just wait for that player to turn around. I'm pretty sure it's Harris. Kicked a goal in the opening term. I think he's kicked the one that puts Launceston in front. 9 goals, 10-64. Yes, in fact, it was Matthew Harris. Kicked that goal, read it well. Now it's back to Munro. He's getting right on top in the ruck now. It goes to Bye, back to Munro, the big fella, onto his left boot, and he was thumped when he kicked the ball. And there's been a relayed kick downfield. Harris. He's on half forward. There's the kick. Thumped away. It's wide towards Bramston. Twists, turns, caught, play on. Handballs to nobody. He has to do the work himself onto the left boot from 10 metres out, and he's on the boundary line, and I think he's put it through. Oh, what a great passage of play by the little fella out there, the mouse, Shane Branston. Launceston at 10-10-70. They lead South 8-11-59. Well, for the first 5 minutes of this term, it was all South, and for the next 4 or 5, it's been all Launceston as South go into attack. And a good mark's been taken here for the Blues by Stephen Woodbury. Woody's on half back. There's the Woodbury kick. He's gone towards half forward. They're all South Launceston. They're pushing and shoving. The umpire's found a free. And it'll go to Curran. No. Tactic's gone back to the big player in Rick Newman. Newman right at half back for the Bulldogs. There's his kick. It's towards the centre of the ground. Oh, they're behind now the Bulldogs when it goes into their forward line. It's run away once again through Termine. Massey's there. He's on his left boot. He's wide. looking for his teammate out there in Cocker. He's good enough to get the ball and handball over the top of the pack. Running past there for Launceston was Lee. Out of defence come the Blues once again, onto the left boot looking for Ellis, and Ellis is marked in centre field. The skid, Richard Ellis, goes wide, looks for his teammate out there and he's found him, running past. He's put the ball deep in towards the half-forward line. Tuttle's behind his opponent on this occasion, allows the Bulldogs to run the ball out of defence through the player out there in Berry. He's kicked wide. Now it's coming back in towards the centre of the field, taken away there by on his right boot towards half-forward. Tapped away by Manson, finds the player running past in Lee. Lee onto the right boot towards the goal square. Launceston player in front. He's taken a great mark. Tiny Clark in the last line, just when the Bulldogs look threatening. Now he goes wide. He's looking for Oldenough, and Oldenough is marked. I think it's Oldenough that's been doing the good work in the ruck. I've been calling him Munro. Look at the big boys out there, and it's Oldenough. There's his kick. Here's Pam Massey, breaks his way through the pack onto his right boot this time, looking for the player down here in Bye, and Bye has marked his midway between the wing and half forward. He goes wide into the pocket, looking for the big player in Parker. Tapped away from that player, and a defence by Scott Grant of Launceston. The ball towards half back, taken away and stood off the pack here by Cocker. Cocker goes with the left boot from 25 metres out. I think he's offline, he is. So they're 8 goals, 12 south, 60. Launceston at 10-10-70. There's the kick back in. Davies almost marks. Lyon's a call. Davies taps it out once again. So Grant, he's on the right boot and gone wide. Taken away by the Launceston back line here as he comes forward now through Jones. Handballs over to the player running past in Harris. Harris inboard to Gibson. Gibson now is tackled beautifully. Now he gets the handball back to Harris. Harris is onto his left boot and he's kicked it out of bounds on the full. Well, they went one too many then, the Blues. And they was under heaps of pressure from the Bulldogs. Eventually the ball was forced out of bounds. It's on the full. And there'll be a relieving kick right on the half back line for the South Launceston side. It's all south as they raffle it, and Jackson's taken the mark. He's right on front of the commentary position as he plays on now, and he goes towards the half-forward line over the back, and a good mark's been taken by Manson. Handballs out to Massey. Massey on the right boot runs his 10 metres, and he's a terrible shot for goal. He's going to cross the face of goal. Luckily finds Parker. Parker's under heaps of pressure now as he puts onto the left boot and goes back towards the goal square, and it comes off the defence down there of the Blues and through for a behind to make South 8-13-61. They're trailing Launceston 10-10-70, 13.5 minutes into the third term. Clark puts the ball back in with a beautiful kick towards the half-back line, and a good mark being taken by Davies, Scott Davies. Togger gets up now, plays on out wide, looking for and finding, I think it's Ellis out there, it is in fact. He fakes the handball, now he runs on, takes 10 metres, smothered by Cooch. This allows the little player in Hayward in. Goes wide now towards Lee, looking for Cooch. One bounce, two bounces, going wide. Now he kicks towards the forward line. Launceston players in front, and a free kick has been paid to the player down there. Paul Gibson playing superb in the back line. Marks, now he kicks wide. Outer side of the ground, grandstand side, taken away by Termine. Towards half forward. Oh, to lose the big players out there. Doing well as Oldenough. Just tapped out this time by the player in Bick. He's gone wide towards Jackson. It's off that player's feet, but luckily it's gone out of bounds on the far side. There's a throw in. Launceston now run the ball out through Davies. Kick wise towards half forward. Little player doing battle here for the Blues. There's Bramston. Shepherd aside and allows Bye in. Bye handballs over to the player there in Hayward. Hayward goes wide. Here's Grant. Cooch is on his, putting plenty of pressure on him. It beats both players. It's out of bounds. Centre wing. Well, we're on the railway side of the ground. The 86 grand final. There's the ball back in play once again. Launceston tapped down. Players throwing themselves in plenty of desperation here. And umpire Foley said, we'll bounce it down. Launceston player was Paul Burke getting up off the ground. There's the bounce. It's towards Grant. Socket off the ground by the South player in Hayward. He's on his left boot. Towards half forward. It's over the back to Parker. Parker goes wide. Teammate coming in there now in Cocker. Cocker onto the right boot towards the goal line, but another good mark's been taken down there by the Blues in the last line by Paul Burke. He'll go wide. Time Launceston run that ball to defence, they go towards that outer flank. There's the kick now, and a good mark's been taken out there by the player for Launceston in Malcolm Matthews. Oh, nobody on his mark, so he's allowed to play on and go through the centre of the ground. Now he kicks towards Tuttle. Too long for that player. Over the back. Finds the player there in Oldenough. The umpire bounces. It's about 45 metres out from the Blues goal line. Tuttle gets the tap down. Nobody in particular. Allows Davies in. Under his left boot. He's been dealt with when he got rid of the ball, and there's been a relay kick downfield, and I think it'll go to Bramston. Shane Bramston kicked 2 goals in this grand final. Lines up for his third. He's 45 metres out. He's directly in front. Just slightly wind assisted, or pull it towards the left goal post, and he aims for the right, and it's swinging back. Has it swung too far? I think it's through for a goal. It's Bramston's third. Launceston's 11th, 11-10-76, South are 8-13-61. So a 15-point lead to Launceston. 18.5 minutes into the third term. There's a little bit of an altercation here, but there is a free to the Launceston side, and it's been taken by Surrin. There's his kick towards half forward, over the top of the pack. Too many Bulldogs up. Who's at ground level? Roberts is there. Oh, desperation shown there by the Launceston player, Burke. Now it's out the back to play there as Crooks, but the umpire, I think, has found a free kick. No, in fact, it's out of bounds. And he'll throw it in right in front of the newest grandstand here at York Park on the forward pocket for the Launceston side. There's the kick over the back. Run out of defence by Curran. He's on the left boot and gone wide. Oh, it's a beautiful pass too, down to the half forward there in Carr. Carr's quick to play and look forward, but once again this half forward line of the Blues behind, but Massey's good enough to get forward and give it back to Carr. Carr onto the left boot in towards the half forward line. Launceston in front once again by Clark. Smothered off the boot. Cooch is there. Desperate struggle here at the moment, but Cooch comes out with the ball, but I think a Launceston player is being held there. Massey was the offender, and the Launceston player will relieve. He's right at half back for the Blues. There it is, it's Termine. He kicks towards the centre of the ground. Harris taps it nicely. He's on the right boot towards Oldenough. Oh, good mark. Oh, he judged that to perfection. He went on all fours down on the ground. And big Tim Oldenough is marked. There's his kick, and it's a beautiful kick. It's over the back. Almost a mark to Davies. It's off the top of the pack. Tuttle's in there doing battle. Now he handballs out to Bramston. Bramston onto the right boot from 5 metres out. It's got plenty of height. The umpire's under it and says that's another goal. That's his fourth, the little rover, the mouse. Bramston's fourth, Launceston's 12th, 12 goals, 10, 82, South 8-13-61. 17-point margin. Just back in centre field once again. Termine doing well in the third quarter. Tuttle out wide looking for the player running past him, Gibson. South Launceston player Bick. Socket off the ground. It's out of bounds. It's right in front of the run through for the Bulldogs, but it must have went out on the full because the Launceston player from 70 metres out kicks now into the half forward line. Off the top of the pack, taken away nicely by the Bulldogs. There's nobody here for them though. It's all Launceston. It's trapped beautifully by Termine. He's got plenty of time to steady and put it on the right boot, kicking towards the half forward line. It's tapped away in defence here by the Bulldogs, and they come forward. It's towards the centre of the ground. All good marks been taken here this time by Jason Parker. Parker's right in the centre of the field. He plays on quickly. Now he's on his right boot and he's down towards the half forward line. Almost a mark taken there by McKillop. Called play on, and Clark's there once again as he handballs to his teammate running past there in Woodbury. It's on the ground now with Waldron. He goes in towards Oldenough. Now he's got the ball, the big fella, and he's got all the time the ball to handball to Termine. Termine onto his right boot and kicks in towards half forward. Curran puts himself in, it's off the top of the pack and taken away by Ellis. Ellis onto the right boot in towards the goal mouth. The top of the pack, Bramston's there roving once again. This time the South defence will run the ball out. I think they know he's tackled, dropping the ball, no play on's the course. The player, Launceston player there right in the goal mouth. Oh, the umpire's letting everything go here. It's out the back to Bramston once again. Tries to kick over the back of the head, it's towards Harris, but Bramston's there again. Now he's tackled, handballs to Ellis. Good defence here by the Bulldogs. They're trying desperately to hold it out. Finally, By gets a hurried kick, it's touched. Now it's some forward to Curran. Now they'll run it out. He looks for Cooch. Cooch is on the centre wing. He's got 10 metres. Handball's inside to Rosier. He's been quiet in this term and he fumbles that also. The big player there for the Blues is Carr. I think umpire Foley said it's mine, fellas, and he'll bounce it. He's on centre wing. Well, they tried desperately to kick another goal there, did the Blues, but full credit to the defence of the Bulldogs. They kept it out and they've pushed it out now towards centre wing. It's tapped down once again. Carr. Launceston's Woodbury. Onto Ellis. Beautiful kick in towards the half forward line. Thumped away again. Woodbury's Branston's there at ground level once again. He's doing battle. He scoops it out to Tuttle. Tuttle drops the ball. Now he throws it out to Harris. Harris onto the right boot, but it's smothered. Oh, this defence is under heaps of pressure here, and he's thrown himself in on top of it. And I think it'll be Harris that'll take the free kick. We're in the back. He's 40 metres out. 45 he'll kick from. Matthew Harry Harris. 45 metres out. He's kicked 2 goals so far in the game. This will take a pretty good kick from here. He's a strong lump of a lad as he kicks, and it's a beautiful kick. Distance okay, accuracy there. Launceston 13-10, 94, and they lead South 8-13, 61. And we're back in play through By towards half forward. Launceston leading the game now by 33 points. A tremendous third quarter. It's on to Parker. Parker towards half forward, but Izzy playing on the back line, Tony Clark. Scooped out by Lee. Scrambly play, finally sock it off the ground and finds the player there in Gibson. Gibson onto the right boot and kicks wide towards half forward, but a good mark being taken for the Bulldogs, and Philip the head Lee. He's at centre half back. Now he's gone wide for Rosier. I think there's been a bit of interference. And what's the umpire going to play out of this? I think it could be a free kick to Launceston player. Yes, it will go to Paul Gibson. So Junkyard Gibson kicks towards the half-back line. Now it's on the forward line. Out there is Curran. Oh, he's kicked that into the air. Mile, players under it. Harris marks beautifully. Quick to play on towards half-forward. Almost a mark taken there, but it's out of defence. Run away again by Dean Crooks. He goes wide only to find the Launceston player in Burke. Burke onto his right boot towards half-forward. Good mark being taken here by Robert Gormley. And Gormley's 45 metres out. He's on a very acute angle. He's almost on the boundary line, far side of the ground. There's the Gormley kick towards the goal square. Oh, it's down to Ellis. Ellis has been dealt when he hasn't got the ball. And Ellis from point blank range. Richard Ellis. Maybe just 5 metres out, directly in front, and Launceston in this vital third term, absolutely slaughtering the Bulldogs at this stage. They lead by 33, they'll lead by 39 after this Ellis kick. He'll have to fall over to miss this. Tell you what, he almost did. He did. From 5 metres out, has missed a goal in the grand final. $13-11.95 Launceston. South Launceston 8-13-61. Ball's back in play once again. And the umpire has found yet another high tackle. The siren has sounded. The player here in Termine, who's been a dominating player in the third term, will have the option of having a shot for goal. The siren has sounded. And Termine could just about make the distance. He's 50 metres out. It's a beautiful looking tall Peter, I tell you what. Almost made it, but it's just the Bulldogs in the last line have prevented it from going through. So Launceston 13-11-95, South 8-13-61, 34-point lead at three-quarter time. back in order, and in fact there's 28 points the difference at three-quarter time in the 86 grand final. Launceston 13-11-89, South are 8-13-61 as the ball goes into the Launceston forward line. Been taken away here by Carr. He goes towards the centre of the ground, bounces over 4 or 5 players, buys good enough to get it and put onto the right boot and go in towards the forward line. Here's a big opportunity for the Bulldogs as they break out. It's over the top now, looking for his teammate running past there, and the player doing battle now is Cocker. He's up against Grant. Grant's over, the ball's over the line, and there'll be a throw in. Good defence there by the Launceston side. Well, it's on the 50-metre line, far side of the ground, just seconds into the final term. Oldenoff gets the tap down towards Cooch. I think it's out of no. In fact, it's a free kick to Gooch. Well, he'll play onto his natural left boot. Nice, beautifully smothered by Oldenoff. Tremendous smother by the big fella, and ended up getting a free kick. Cooch wanted to play on. The big fella was equal to the task, and he's on right on the half-back line for the Blues. There's his kick. It's in towards the centre of the ground. Rosier. Out to Launceston player, and he kicks towards the half-forward line. With defence standing tall here for the Bulldogs as they clear it once again towards the centre wing position. Oh, slipped over to Parker. Now he taps it off the ground looking for a teammate, but Launceston's players running through here, doing battle on half-forward line, down to Bye. Bye scoops it up beautifully. Kicks towards half-forward. There's a good mark's been taken by the Launceston player on half-back line. There's his kick towards Parker, and Jason Parker is marked. Now he kicks wide looking for Cooch. Founds that player out there. He's right at half forward, quick to put on his left boot. Kicks into the forward line. Over the back is Manson. He's almost marked. He butters up now. He swings onto the left boot and he kicks from 10 metres out, but I think he's across goal and it's through for a behind. Big opportunity for the Bulldogs. It's only a point. South 8-14-62, 27 points in arrears of Launceston 13-11-89. There's the Launceston kick in. Over the back, Massey on his left boot. Oh, he has a bounce on the turf and it's gone sideways and it's out of bounds. No, he might have managed just to keep that ball in off the ground as he's tucking it through. This allows his teammate in there now in Cocker. Cocker kicks towards centre half forward and the mark's been taken. Well, Massey almost mucked it up. It was good enough just to keep it in play. And allowed Cocker to get possession and kick. And that's been marked by Philip Lee. And Head Lee, he's 25 metres out, he's almost directly in front. And if South ever need him to kick a goal, it's right now. There's his kick. Under the goal line, the players are pretty happy, so is the goal umpire. That's a much needed goal for South, 9-14-68. Launceston 13-11-89. So 3 3/4 minutes into the final term, 68 plays 89. South Launceston with the aid of just a slight bruise in this the final term. Here's Jackson. He's onto the right foot, and it's a beautiful long kick towards Manson. Oh, and he drops the sitter off the chest. He's quick to kick it off the ground now. It's in towards the forward line, and the umpire's awarded a 5-metre kick. He said that's fair enough, that's close enough to 10. I'll award a mark right in the last line for the Blues. There's the kick in this time by Lee. It's towards the half-back line. Taken away by Termine, goes in towards the centre wing, Gormley. He's in front and marked safely on the chest. There's the Gormley kick over the top, looking for Harris. Oh, fickle bounce there for Harris. It beat him and went over the line out of bounds. Unfortunately for that player, he had 20 metres space. There's the spin in. Termine messes it down to Berry. Been a quiet player as he puts on his right boot and goes in towards half forward. Over the pack. No, it's back down in front. And this tremendous player, Paul Gibson, once again runs the ball out of defence, goes wide towards Harris. Harris traps it onto the right boot now, swings back in towards centre field looking for Ellis. Finds that player. He's unattended right at centre half forward. Ellis looks around now and looks down forward and kicks towards Tuttle. Almost marks it. Quick to butter up. Allows Davies onto the right boot. Out wide there towards Shepherd. He's tackled beautifully. in the back, according to umpire Foley. Well, how often do you see that paid these days in the tackling? It's normally ball, and it's been paid to Robert Shepherd. He's right in the forward pocket. And this could be the steadier for the Blues. There's the Shepherd kicks, left foot. I think it's across the face. It could be through for a behind. It is in fact Launceston 13-12, 90. South 9-14, 68. So Stephen Woodbury puts it back in once again. 22 points the difference. Balls comes to Bramston. Being everything to Little Rover. It puts onto the left boot wide. Davies onto the right boot. Oh, that looks pretty good if it's got the distance. No, it's been marked. Rick Newman. He's right in the last line for the Bulldogs. Goes wide towards Roberts. Too long for that player. Over the back is Gormley, and Gormley marks. The Gormley kick, he's gone right to the point of the square. The big fella Oldenoff has two grabs over the back, taken away by the South Launceston player in Cocker. Cocker goes wide looking for a teammate, puts onto his left boot and goes in towards Berry. And Berry marks on half back. He's going now towards the centre of the ground looking for Rosier. Rosier takes it far too easy and allows the opposition player to come in there in Gibson. Gibson onto the right boot looking for and finds Harris. Scott Harris right at centre half forward, too far out to score. Now he's told to play on by the umpire, goes wide, bounces awkwardly for Massin, allows the player in Wormsley onto the right boot and kicks over the top, and Bramston marks. The player in fact was Shepherd. Sorry, my mistake there, but Shane Bramston is the player that is marked, but he's interfered with his opposition player. And out there for the Bulldogs, Dean Crooks relieves in the last line. There's his kick towards Massey. Now he's onto the right boot and kicks wide, looking for the little player out there in Lee. Lee's got the pace, should have been shepherded by Coochby. He tried to grab the ball himself. Now Lee puts it onto the right boot towards half forward. Big player in Parker almost marks it, down to ground. Cooch is there once again, on his left boot. Kicks long towards the forward line, but that man in the last line, Tony Clark, who's been a tremendous defender for the Blues, marks safely on the chest right in the point of the square. Now he kicks wide towards the outer side. Roberts. He's on his right boot and kicks in towards half forward now. And once again, Tony Clark marks strongly for the Blues. There's the kick into centre field where Termine marks. Termine's on the left boot, he's gone wide. South defence, good mark been taken here though by Dean Crooks. And Crooks right at centre half back for the Bulldogs. Now he plays on. Launceston players content to wrestle. In the meantime, he plays on around them. Kicks towards half forward, over the top of the big player in Parker, down to ground. Oh, good play here by Berry. He's come into the game in this last quarter. Now he's onto the right boot, but it's smothered. He's still going on. He grabs the player too high, Scott Grant, and he'll relieve for Launceston right at centre half back. There's the grand kick. He's gone in looking for Ellis. And he's found that player, Richard Ellis. He's right in the centre of the ground. There's the Ellis kick. It's towards Tuttle. One hand, almost marks. Down to Jones. Jones taps it forward, only to find the South Launceston defence running out here through Crocker. He handballs wide. The player running past and puts onto the left boot and goes towards Berry. Berry marks in half forward. Now he plays on through centre half forward, looking for a short pass in forward, but he probably should have had a big shot. But he's found Manson. Manson tries to handball out, but once again it's Clark. No, the umpire has found a player here being held, and Manson is the recipient of the free kick. Michael Manson, he's kicked 2 goals in the grand final. Big opportunity to kick 3. There's the Manson kick, and I think it's pretty good from here. South at 10 goals, 14. Make that 72, 10 goals, 14, 72. South, Launceston 13, 12, 90. 18 points the difference. We've been playing 9 3/4 minutes in this, the final term. So South just clawing their way back into this final. 18 points the difference. Termine. Handball out. On wide. Parker, right boot. I think a mark's been taken out there for the Bulldogs on half forward by Lee. Now he gives it to Cooch. Cooch, beautiful long left foot drop punt towards the centre half forward position. Manson reads the ball beautifully, looks for a teammate to give it to. There's nobody there, he has to do it all himself. Now he handballs wide to the player running past on the far side of the ground, who snaps from 25 metres out. And I think the player's full of bleed, but he's missed. And a big opportunity there for the Bulldogs to draw themselves closer, but he's gone astray. 10 goals, 15, 73. Trailing by 17 points over Launceston, 13, 12, 9. There's the ball wide towards Termine, and he shows plenty of pace, and he's marked right on the 50-metre line. It's a Termine kick on, it's a poor disposal, allows Massey to chip in, and he drops it straight off the chest, but he's good enough to butter up and handball to the player. But running past there is Gormley. He handballs now in towards Oldenoff. Oldenoff's been tackled too high against Troy Roberts, and Oldenoff, he's right on half back for the Blues. Been a good big man for them as he kicks in towards the centre field. Davies almost marks, but it's punched down now, it goes to the ground. We see the player running past there in Hayward. Hayward goes wide looking for Berry. Berry having trouble picking the ball up. Clark's there once again. Oh, under heaps of pressure, the Launceston defence finally has handballed wide. The player in Burke takes it and kicks towards the player there on centre field in Shepherd. He beats that player. Boundary line's a winner. It's out of bounds midway between the wing and the half forward line, the Bulldogs attacking zone. There's the throw in. Tapped down by Roberts. Shepherd's there. Player doing battle is Hayward. Shepherd again. And the ball I think will beat all players. Robert Cocker. Sam Massey's beaten all players across the line. It's out of bounds. And there'll be a throw in the identical position. We've been playing 12 1/4 minutes in the final term. There's the throw in. It's back to Massey. I think the boundary line's the better again, and once again it's out of bounds. It's just a negative passage of play here at the moment. Launceston a 13, 12, 90, leading South 10, 15, 72. As the ball's back in on the right way side of the ground. Massey's got it again. This time he gets boot the ball, and the ball has at long last gone forward. It's a rainmaker. It's down to the ground. Berry's there. And again, it'll beat the players out of bounds. South desperately trying to put another goal on the board. Launceston desperately trying to keep them out. They lead the game, the Blues. There's the left foot kick towards the boundary again, and once again it'll be about the 6th boundary throw in a row. '90 plays 72. There's the throw in. Into play once again. Roberts on his left boot, and he's kicked the boot as far as the ball. The ball's been run out of defence by Jones. Handball's over the top. Into the player running past, but it allows the little player to come through there for South Launceston, and Hayward onto the right boot out wide looking for, finding Parker. Parker handballs over the top of the player running past in Lee. Lee's gone wide now to his teammate out there in Cocker. Finally they kick the ball towards half forward line. It's a real rainmaker, and Clark comes over the top and thumps it forward. This allows Jackson in, and he's pushed in the back, but play on's the call. And finally Clark runs the ball out with a nice handball to his teammate on the far side of the ground, who clears. The player was Grant, and the ball's wide and handsome and out of bounds right in front of the run through for the Bulldogs. Just 15 points the difference at the 14.5-minute mark. And it's on the half-back line now for the Bulldogs. Kicks in towards half forward, but Davies is there. Scott Davies is marked. Togger Davies, he's right on centre wing, far side of the ground. Now he's gone wide towards the pocket, and Tuttle takes a big mark right in front of the old grandstand. Big crowd building up here for the grand final of 86. There's a kick in towards the forward line, almost a good mark to Carr. I think it'll beat all players now and go out of bounds far side. 90 plays 75, 15 minutes into the final term, just 12 or 13 minutes left. Launceston desperately hanging on against the breezes. Harris grabs the ball out of the pack and kicks towards the forward line. Under heaps of pressure here, the Launceston players down to Bramston. Bramston onto the left boot and has put it through. That could be the sealer for the Blues. That's Bramston's Fifth goal for the afternoon, a tremendous effort in the grand final. Launceston's 14th, they're 14 goals, 12-96. And they lead the ball game now by 21 points against South 10-15-75. Back in centre field, the umpire puts the ball to the turf now. They need a goal straight away to answer that to South if they want to stop in the game. I think Launceston might have parcelled up with that one. Once again it's out to Parker. Parker handballs now, he's under heaps of pressure. The Launceston backline doing well. Gibson. It's the umpire played here. I think it might be a kick downfield. In fact, the other umpire's allowed it to play on. It's gone to Tuttle. Tuttle kicks in towards the forward line. Launceston player out there takes the ball and kicks into the goal line. I think he's been dealt with when he got rid of the ball, and it's gone through for behind, so the player will have the option of having another shot for goal. It's the skipper of the Launceston side, Simon Munro. He's 30 metres out and he's on an angle of about 50 degrees. Simon the Bull Munro, he's the skipper of the side on the far side of the ground. There's the Munro kick. Lovely kick. I think it might be a goal. Yes, that's Munro's first. Launceston running right away with the grand final now. They go on to 15 goals, 12, 102, and they lead South 10-15-75. 27-point lead to the Blues, 17.5 minutes into the grand final of the last term, and it's on the half-forward line for the Bulldogs. Battled forward here and it's taken by Sirin. Berry's there for South. Umpire's calling play on, giving them plenty of opportunity. Taken away by Bramston. Towards half forward. Handball quickly out of the pack. Little player running past. Haywood towards half forward. Taken away by the Blues in defence once again. Over to Bramston. Bramston marks on the centre wing. Now he plays on. Towards half forward, good mark to Davies. Davies plays on quickly, goes in towards the forward pocket and snaps from 50 metres out, but I think he's offline. He's through for a behind. Launceston doing all the attacking now, 15-13, 103. And they lead South Launceston 10-15-17, 75. Well, I think South have run their race. They had the opportunities in the early parts of the quarter. But now Launceston appear to have settled and they lead fairly comfortably going into the final 5 or 6 minutes of the game. And it's taken away by the brilliant Paul Gibson. This time it's against him. For the first time in the ball game he's failed to run the ball out of defence. And a free kick will be awarded to the Bulldogs on the far side of the ground. Jackson's the player out there. There's his kick. It's towards half. Right to the goal line. Punched away again by the Blues. They run it out of defence. Now they're desperate to hang on and win this game. Towards the centre of the ground. Good mark's been taken to the player out there in Philip Lee. There's the lead kick. He's gone wide. Finds a player in Termine running past. And he's onto the left boot towards half forward. Oh, I think that's a mark. Top mark being playing here to the Launceston player in Robert Gormley. Gormley gets up now and kicks in towards the half-forward line. He punched away now. It's cleared out by the South defence through Cocker. He's wide back towards Gormley. Paddled along here by the South Launceston player in Vic. Now it's taken away by Gormley once again towards the goal line. Harris is there. Tuttle's there. But it's down to Davies, and Davies snaps. Craig Davies kicks his fourth for the day. Well, it's not much good a fight now, fellas. The game's all over. All you can do is lose your first 2 or 3 games next year, so just get on with the game. I think the goal's been scored, but just wait for the goal umpire. Yes, the goal's been awarded to Craig Davies. So Launceston are 16 goals, 13, 109. Leading South Launceston 10-15-75. 34-point leaders at the 20-minute and a half of the final term. So just a couple of minutes remaining in the grand final of 86. This tapped down this time by Jones. taken away by Jackson. Over the top, looking for the player there in Lee. And I think a free kick has been awarded to the Blues on the far side of the ground. Bit of an altercation there and a 15-metre penalty. And once again, they'll go into their attacking zone. There's the kick. Well, Tuttle claims the mark, but it's play on. I think the South player had first touch. Umpire Foley's there, and I think he's going to give now a free kick to Tuttle. And Tuttle's on the far side of the ground. Here's the Tuttle kick. Nice long kick. It's towards the half-forward line. Ramsden's on the bottom of the pack, and I think he's been called holding the ball. And it's taken away in this time by Carr. Carr's gone wide towards the outer wing. Jones is there, just beaten all players. It's out of bounds. It's on the far side. So just the dying seconds of the 86 grand finals taken away this time by Cocker. Cocker's kicked wide towards the outer wing looking for Parker. It's off all players. It's out of bounds, far side. It's in front of the little scoreboard over there that tells us Launceston are 16-13, 109. Leading the visitors, that being South 10-15, 75. There's a throw in as the siren sounds, so that's the final scores. South Launceston 10-15, 75, defeated by Launceston 16-13, 109 in the 1986 NTFA Under-19 Grand Final.